going on, Pop Culture fam? It's your boy Jay Root, and
Kung Fu.
That's right. We're doing this again. We're live but separate at the same time.
That's right, baby.
So thank you to StreamYard again for letting us host on this platform, as we are both in opposite sides of the town of Austin, Texas. I'm in the southeast side and the gentrified hood of Austin, and Kung Fu's out there in Leander.
No, Saeed.
That's funny, dude. And I'm over here repping that 4-1 in the ATX, baby, on top of this area. That's right. We still got projects over here. Austin areas aside, we got a pretty good show for you guys tonight. Both of us over the weekend saw Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes, sir.
And boy, oh boy, I personally gave it a 9 out of 10. But I think Kung Fu gave it a 10 out of 10. A lot of people gave it a 10 out of 10. I think there was a couple places where it could have been a little bit better. There's one even spot where I kind of like closed my eyes for a bit, but otherwise it was a fantastic Spider-Man movie. I mean, do I think it's better than Spider-Man 2? No, but it's pretty damn close.
See, I think it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Honestly, I think with everything involved, like I said, it's up there with Spider-Man 2 for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely in the web for sure.
Yeah.
I would agree. It's definitely one of the best animated movies ever. The art direction, or directions, I should say, because the different art styles that they showcased in this movie was, I mean, just fantastic. Like and to capture the action and the essence, I mean, there's just no way we could have really had done this in the past. Like, I remember watching the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, and they had the Spider-Verse episode where there was all these different Peter Parkers coming together, and I thought that was amazing. But this like
next level,
like a billion Peter Parkers, and not just Peter Parkers. We got Spider-Women in there, and other characters that take on the mantle of Spider-Man in this movie too. So, but yeah, we're gonna deep dive into it. We're gonna give you the top 10 spoilers of the movie. So if you have not seen this movie yet, now is your time to just hit pause, like and subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube out of both of our channels, because we both got separate channels, but definitely hit both of those channels and subscribe. It definitely helps us out. Like I said, we are trying to grow this brand into something that we can both just be happy and grow for you guys, get better sound equipment, better stuff. So and again, we both work the dead day job, so we're not trying to get rich off of this by any means, but whatever you guys can do to help us, like, subscribe, share, hit the bell for the notifications, would definitely help us out. But without further ado, let's kick it off. Hit us with the number 10, baby.
All right, player. All right, so this is the top 10 list of pretty much spoilers of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and we got this list before from the direct website, so we're going to use that as our guide. And of course, we'll give our input about what they say and then what we think, and that kind of just follow this list, because the list is pretty awesome. It's pretty good stuff.
Shouts out to the direct.com. They got some legit writers over there for sure.
For sure. Number 10, people. Gwen assembles a new team. That's right. So pretty much with everything happening with Miles being stuck in now Earth 42, she gets a spidey sense. She's like, oh hell, he's not here. I know where he is. We gotta get the team back together. Pretty much. In the words of Rick and Morty, we need to get the team back together.
Back together.
So she's able to pull the team of Spider-Punk, Spider-Bite, the Indian Spider-Man. What's that?
Spider-Man India. Mm-hmm.
Or what's his name? I guess Pativer.
It was a hard name. I know of the character, and right now his comic book number 1 of Spider-Man India is like going crazy. I wish I would have,
Oh, that'd be
you
cool.
know, a
If you
couple
would've done
couple
it.
years ago when those books were dirt cheap.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I would have pulled the trigger then, knowing that, hey, there's a possibility he could show up in the Spider Verse. But you know, yeah, his stuff is going like crazy. But yes, so apologies, but he does have a difficult name.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I think it's like Potava, like
yeah,
Peter Potava.
it's
Yeah.
Partiver Pondakar.
Yeah.
Pondakar. It
Parker.
sounds like Peter Parker, but obviously it's not. But yeah,
Yeah. And of course, adding back is the remaining members from the first movie: Peter B. Parker, Spider Ham, Spider Noir, and Penny Parker. So
yeah,
yes, they
and
are.
she's rocking a new mech.
Yes, she is, because the old one got destroyed
Yep.
from Into the Spider Verse.
Yep, yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see, man. I'm hoping that the cast comes back. John Mulaney as Spider Ham was, I mean, that was just spot on. I don't think I could have picked a different actor to maybe play it, except for maybe like Danny DeVito for some odd reason. I just picture Danny DeVito being Spider Ham.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
But I do hope Nicolas Cage comes back to voice for Spider-Man Noir. He was awesome as that Peter Parker. So, but yeah, man, it's the old team is back together, and that was an awesome scene to see them all show up, and especially with Peter B. Parker and Mayday uh, in tow. So she was cool. She was down, bro. She put that little knapsack on.
Yeah,
She's
ready.
like, she's ready to
She's
rock.
ready, bro. Like I'm ready. Like you remember the word. Like come on, bro.
She said, "Come on, Daddy, let's go."
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, dude. That was an awesome scene, and you know, just the fact that we're gonna get. I was really impressed with Spider-Man India, to be honest, as well too, and Spider-Punk. You know, obviously he had a last year he had a 5-issue run in Marvel, and I guess, you know, in true Marvel fashion, they're really trying to get these characters out in the mainstream again, and that run was really good. But I was not expecting to enjoy him in the movie as I thought I did. I thought he was just going to be in there as a cash grab, you know, for Marvel.
Yeah, Hobie Brown. Like who's Hobie? Oh, you haven't talked about Hobie yet? No. Like who's Hobie? That was funny. Yeah. So pretty much, and then of course, who do you gotta go? Who do you have to go against? Spider-Man 2099, and the whole entire Spider Society, including a Spider Woman, a pregnant Spider Woman. So yes, it's gonna be when they collide, it's gonna be pretty big. It's gonna be pretty epic.
And the OG Jessica Drew. So that was cool to see that there was a little flash of the actual, well, not say actual, but the original Marvel 616 Spider Woman in the Spider Society. So that was cool to see.
Yeah, and who knows? Also, too, he was going to be part of the fight, but he got zapped his ass into a different dimension. Was Benny Riley?
Oh, Ben Riley, yeah.
Ben Riley, Andy Samberg's character. Oh,
yeah.
He was so funny. To me, I thought he was hilarious.
And that was one thing I didn't like, because I know there's a huge community out there that does not like Ben Riley. You know, the clone of Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. Only difference is he's got blonde hair. You know, but they did make him like the comedic punchline of the film, and very solid. And look at my muscles. So I mean,
look to the left. I look to the right. Don't look that way. I look straight. There's something coming at me. Oh my gosh. Oh my god.
So but you know, as funny as he was and enjoyable as that was, I was like, really? You know, I mean, I'm not the biggest Scarlet Spider or Ben Riley fan out there, but you know, he could, you know, he could have been played a little bit better in the movie. But you know, I get it. The majority of people don't like him, so that was cool to have, you know, him be kind of annoying and dumb and you like over dramatic to kind of harken back to the art style when he was out there, when it was severely over dramatic art style and super skinny, bulked up muscle and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that was definitely a nice little takeaway.
Yes, it was. So cool. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna let you go number 9.
All right, number 9. So this, because you saw it before me, you saw it opening night.
Yes.
Me and the fam we saw it Sunday morning. So you're like, dude, it leaves like it. Like the only thing you told me was like it's just like a giant cliffhanger. So I was like, well, what could it be? And yeah, that cliffhanger at the end, I really kind of had to get my thoughts back together on that. But the fact that he is in Earth 42 and it's a blink if you miss it scene, because it does show you the spider that bit him says 42 on it.
Mm-hmm.
And when Spider Bite is sending him out of the Spider Society, they show you the spider. So you're like, oh, well, that's the clue and the detail that he's in that universe. But it, it plays out like, hey, like he's back home and Uncle Aaron's alive. And as soon as he saw him, I was like, oh man, he's not there. There's no way. And the fact that the mom's like, oh, what'd you do to your hair? And I was like, oh, there's clue number 2. And then Uncle Aaron's showing up and you're like, oh shit. And then he's like, I know you're the Prowler. And he's like, no, I'm not. And out comes Miles Morales in Earth 42 as not Spider-Man, but as the Prowler was like
with a heavy Puerto Rican accent.
And a completely different voice actor to play him, and a heavy Puerto Rican accent, which was awesome. Yeah. But also like the polar opposite of him, like the super dark. He grew up on the streets, more so by his uncle, mainly probably because his stepdad dies, which I'm like, damn, is his stepdad dead? And then they show the artwork where it shows his stepdad, and she's like, damn, so something happened to push him to the completely opposite spectrum of being good to just being bad. And I'm also interested to see if they know who was supposed to be bit by that spider. Like, is it Peter Parker? Like, is there a Peter Parker in that world? Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we see in the next movie, like, is there a Peter Parker in that world that's supposed to have been bit? But yeah, I'm interested, because we talked a little bit about it at the Dreaded Day Job, but that was one hell of a cliffhanger for sure.
Yes, it was. My 9-year-old, she saw it as well. And my 9-year-old, we talked that night. She was like, Daddy, I love this movie so much, but that ending was so stupid. I was so mad the ending like that. I'm like, that was a crazy ass ending. So yeah, just to see him tied up in a punching bag and Uncle Aaron's alive, and you see Miles Morales with his braids hanging out like straight, like just like Yo Vato kind of deal. Like just he's
homeboy was straight Brooklyn.
Straight Brooklyn, yes. And like even like the way he had, like they even made it to where I'm gonna notice he had like a thinner face.
Yeah.
From the other Miles, like even his facial features look different. He looked thinner.
It was the same, but different. But they were slightly different. And different to the way the way it made him look like a bad guy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
His eyes was more like, wasn't as open as Miles or the actual other Miles, the actual evil Miles. His eyes was more like closed like this, and just like you could tell he wants to mean mug. You could tell he's just mean mugging, like, bro, like I don't give a damn about your dad. Like I don't give a shit about him. Like he could die for all I care. I'm like this motherfucker ruthless. This Miles version is ruthless,
dude. So like really, and then obviously that being the cliffhanger, but the other part of the cliffhanger that I like a lot of people really aren't talking about is the fact that the Spot shows up back in Miles' universe, overpowered and ready to freaking rock, and it's like and I've been thinking about this whole movie. Like the next movie is, I honestly think that movie's going to play out and it may not be as long as this one. I'm thinking maybe hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, only for the simple fact that this next movie is just going to be non-stop go, 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 because literally time is of the essence. Like,
Yeah.
he has to save his dad. He has to get out of the situation with this Miles Morales. The team has to save him. Spider-Man 2099 and the Spider
Yeah.
Society is
There's
at,
a
like,
lot
you know what
going
I mean?
on.
It's a lot going on, so it's
There's a
got to be
lot
like,
going on. And
yeah,
I think he said like when they was fighting the first time, him and Spider 2099. I think he said he has 3 days. It was like 2 or 3 days.
something like that.
Yeah, so pretty much from the point that happens, then maybe okay, what 3 days, 3 days left. So pretty much within 3 days, they did go save him, fight, pretty much save him, fight the Prowler, get back home in time to pretty much stop Spot. While he's trying to stop Spot, pretty much the Spot Society is going after them in Brooklyn in their home, and I wouldn't be surprised if the fight between Spider Gwen and that team, when they finally rescue Miles, rolls over into Earth 6 1. What was it? Earth 1610.
Yeah,
Pretty much
1610.
the Miles Prowler comes over.
Yeah,
Like he escapes his Earth and he jumps in fighting them, and he ends up in the wrong world himself. So you may have where everyone at some point could end up into Earth 1610. Like
yeah,
everyone
for
will be
sure,
there.
for sure. And um, you know, it's it's hard to say if the next movie is going to follow the storyline of Miles Morales when it comes to his dad, because in the comic books, in the Spider-Man PS4 game,
Mhm.
he dies.
Yeah.
So, how are they going to do that? Like, are they going to do that? What's going to be the repercussions, and how's Miles going to take it? Like, is he going to be like every Spider-Man before him? Because technically, in the first movie, he had the formula to be Spider-Man already, because every Spider-Man loses an Uncle Ben, and he lost his Uncle Aaron. So,
Yeah.
is he also going to lose his dad too? And that coincides with Peter eventually losing, Aunt May. Obviously in the comic books, I think it's like old age, or things like somehow Norman Osborn, and it's fuzzy because it was in like the mid '90s. But I think it's like Norman Osborn has something to do with the fact that Aunt May dies. But
Yeah.
or it could have been Craven. I don't know. I'd have to really go back and re-look at that run. But it just being a Spider-Man, it's just like they said in the movie, like that's what makes us Spider-Man, is being okay with not having, or not, that's not what makes us Spider-Man, but it's just being okay with not being able to save everyone. You know what I mean? So, but yeah. But let's go to number 8. Let's go to number 8.
Actually, that's my segue, because that technically leads into number 8.
Yep.
Captain Morales is in danger. So yes, just like we said, by the time right now, what is he? Just sergeant or something, or captain?
Sergeant. He's about to be sworn in as captain.
Captain. So yeah, so pretty much he's going to be sworn in 3 days as captain, but within that time frame, pretty much everyone is going to deal with Miguel, because technically, he's destined to be part of the canon event. The canon event is someone close to Miles, like Joseph said, dies. Dad, uncle, just someone close to that. That's a canon event.
Yeah.
And while that's happening, the most ridiculed, just pointless villain of the movie end up being one of the best parts of the movie. He's now pretty much at the point of he has so much power. He's ready to destroy everyone in his path, especially anyone that's been related or dealt with Miles Morales, Spider-Man, in the time frame. And the person he's going after is his dad. So that's kind of, we won't know until next year, pretty much.
Next year, yeah.
Next year we won't know. So
yeah, that's definitely something that we're looking forward to, and I think a lot of people were. I'm extremely blown away by how they did the spot in this movie. Like, not only was he like kind of goofy and Jason Schwartzman just did a fantastic job. Like, I didn't know it
He
was
did
him
awesome.
until the end when they were showing the credits and all the voice actors and the actors, and I was like, holy crap, that was Jason Schwartzman. He was a spy. And I was like, oh, and then like as I'm hearing him, and I was like, yeah, that's definitely like I don't know how I missed that,
Yeah.
but perfect casting when it comes to that character, and you know, dude, we'll get to the spy here in a minute, but I got a lot to say about that for sure.
For sure. All right, buddy. You got
All
number
right.
7.
Yep. Number 7, Captain Stacy No More. So, the other great thing about this movie is, and this is maybe where I kind of would have one of my gripes about the movie, because it is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, but it could have been, and maybe they didn't do this because it gives away a part of the movie, but it could have been Spider-Man and Spider-Woman Across the Spider-Verse, because the first, you know, 15, 20 minutes
20 minutes of the
movie is all about Gwen Stacy and Spider-Woman, because you know you get to you see her origin story you know, fleshed out a lot more, which they did an awesome job. You know, to see Peter Parker become the lizard and then accidentally kill himself, and then you know Captain Stacy, Gwen Stacy's father, her dad, see her holding his body and thinks that she murdered Peter, and is, you know, now the manhunt going on for her. That's some definitely polarizing, like some trauma there, like to know that you're to not know that your daughter is Spider-Gwen and or Spider-Woman, but you know, was awesome. But yeah, then when she comes home and tells him the truth, and he still wants to arrest her, and she leaves and books it out.
That was dirty. I was like, he still wants to arrest her after all that. I'm like, oh my god, you can't be serious right now.
Yeah, dude, that was rough. I mean, yeah, that was kind of heartbreaking. But like I said, that was the first 20 minutes of the movie, and you're like, holy crap. Which I will say that and I haven't really seen too much people talking about this, even on Twitter. But the whole Da Vinci Vulture, dude, he was awesome.
Like, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, when he freaking grew his wing back, I was like, holy crap. And then the fact that he looked like he was straight ripped from a Da Vinci drawing, like, that was awesome. Like, I thought that they because I remember seeing the pop, you know, and they were showing like, oh, here's the Vulture from 1610 or some shit like that. And I was like, 1610? Like, really? And then the pop looks goofy as hell. Like, I was just I did not know that's going to be a hard pass on that for me. But yeah, and then to see it in the movie,
he looked like a straight paper mache type character. Like, he looked awesome. Like, just all the brown. Like, yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but he was wrecking shop. But so then 3/4 of the movie later, Gwen goes back home. You know, runs into Dad. He quits. I'm here to help you. Go get him, Tiger. And
which as you see, if that stopped the canon event because he quit.
Yeah. So there's more and more stuff going on that should be going on that's not going on, and you know, what are the repercussions? You know, how is that going to play out in the next movie? Like, yeah, it's tough, man. But that was also another spoiler. Another piece of the movie that I was not expecting to see that was phenomenal.
So I watched the interview with was it Haley Steinfeld?
Steinfeld.
Okay, so there was an interview she did recently that Lord and Miller was talking to her about you know, what they wanted to do with her, and they said, hey, just envision this, you know, that the way we're going to envision, you know, Spider-Gwen is like her world is like a mood ring. So pretty much, and she's like, okay, all right, whatever, okay, cool. But then she said when she saw the movie herself, she's like, I get it.
Yeah.
Because did you notice when when she her when her attitude
Hmm.
changes through the whole movie,
The
the
little
entire
spectrum on the side of the screen.
not just spectrum, it changes colors.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I mean.
Like
Like
yes,
the
oh
edges of the
yeah, yeah,
screen were changing colors. Yeah.
yeah. Especially like the scene where her and her dad was apart talking. It was like a dark like a dark red, whatever. But when
Uh-huh.
she hugged him, it glowed blue, like it
Yeah.
glowed. So like her entire world was like a mood ring, like it was based off her feelings and emotions. Her
Yeah.
entire world, and that was actually I was like, oh wow, that's actually pretty cool when you see that way, like just how it all plays out. When she's angry, you tell she's mad, just with everything around her and that kind of deal. So that was actually pretty cool to see. And
Yeah.
also too, because I know you knew, but being this kind of movie was definitely a if you a comic book lore, you caught all the references. If you're not, you like okay, that's cool, but the band that's from the comic book.
Yep.
That's strictly the straight comic book. The band that she's in.
Yeah. I will say that for sure. Even in the first movie, Across the Spider Verse, uh, Lord and Miller have an attention to detail to these characters that are just chef's kiss, man. I mean, I'm interested to see what they do in the live action world. I know the fact that they're under Sony um, is not rubbing people the right way. I wish they would go and kind of rekindle their relationship with Disney and get
Yeah.
on board the MCU train because, uh, you know, with Sony doing the Craven and they have their whole Venom verse and no Spider-Man in sight. They got a Spider-Woman movie coming out, and it's just like, where does this go? Unless they're really leaning in towards Marvel saying, okay, after Secret Wars, and we're gonna merge everything all together. Like, all right, you know what I mean? But are we gonna be invested in these characters because how Sony is treating some of these characters? Um, like how do you have a Venom with no Spider-Man? Like, and don't get me wrong, I like Tom Hardy, and the movies are entertaining. They're great, but it's he doesn't even have the actual spider on his chest. You know what I mean? Like it's Venom, but it's not. And then you had
Yeah.
even for all intents and purposes, Morbius was not a good movie, but it was by far Sony's best attempt to adapt a character from the actual source material. So I will give them that. But then the whole Vulture showing up in their world, and you're just like,
Yeah,
how, why, like, what
I
is
was
that
done.
even?
Yeah,
But
I was done by that moment.
maybe they're going to be the key that ties everything together for Sony and the MCU. So we'll see, man. I'm real interested, man. I kind of like now that obviously they lost their Disney relationship, with Star Wars and the Han Solo movie. I kind of really wish I would have been able to see what their movie was. I mean, you could see half of it.
Yeah,
You could tell what parts are theirs when you
yeah,
watch the Han Solo movie. But I really would have liked to have seen 100% of their cut.
yeah. That'd been
So
cool to see.
yeah,
So, all right, let's get into it. So, number 6,
number 6.
Peter B. Parker's Mayday and many other new faces. That's right, people. Jake Johnson's back voicing Peter B. Parker, and this time he's a daddy.
Yeah,
And so, like he told Miles in the movie, just seeing him, doing that, it kind of gave him motivation, kind of like,
hmm
because he was pretty much a deadbeat guy in the first movie, into Spider-Verse, but then he
Well,
kind of,
I
well,
wouldn't. I mean, he was. Nah, I wouldn't call him a deadbeat. I think he was just scared. He was scared to have
okay,
a commitment because
okay, I go with that.
like when he goes because he's the one that's been the Spider-Man the longest, right?
Yeah,
He's been Spider-Man for 20 years, and he's seen Uncle Ben die. Obviously, he's seen Aunt May die. He's seen other people die in his life, and he didn't want to commit to a family to possibly lose them too along the way. So
yeah,
I definitely feel and understand
okay,
where he was going with, but yeah, to see him back and happy And and this is another thing that I really don't see too many people talking about is Jake Johnson kills it
Yes,
as Spider-Man.
he's
Now
really
maybe
good.
he's not in live action, obviously not, but voice acting, dude. Like when he needs to be like the heartfelt, emotional, the this is why we got to do it, Miles. You know, this you're the only reason I wanted to have kids was because of you. And this dude, he delivers those lines so well. Like I just don't understand why people are really not talking about that because that give that dude more voice acting roles because
Yeah,
holy crap, like hell, give him more live action roles, man. That dude can that you know, not only is he fucking funny, is he's hilarious. He's hilarious in New Girl. He's probably like
yes,
he's definitely my wife's favorite character in that show. But you know, he's funny in Let's Be Cops, he's funny in all these other movies, but I really kind of want to see him like in something serious to where you're kind of taken back by him. But anyways, he kills it as Peter B. Parker. I'm taking your thunder. I'm sorry.
oh no, you good. Oh yes. So like I said, new faces. You now have his daughter, Mayday Parker, which she was very cute. She was just she was like just awesome.
She was
The
a
entire
spider. She
movie.
was all over the place.
Oh yeah, she was all over damn place. And of course, you have the other new faces of the Spider-Man variants. Like I said, Spider Bite, Spectacular Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, Spider Punk, Spider-Man 2099. It goes on and on and on
uh-huh.
and on.
Cowboy Spider-Man, Spider
Cowboy
Rex,
Spider-Man, Monkey, Cat Spider-Man, Monkey Spider-Man, Horse Spider-Man. Uh, just,
Iron Spider,
just
the Superior Spider-Man. You had the
yeah.
Spider-Man from the Sony, the PlayStation game. You
It's some
had
was it Insomnia or something, whatever.
Insomnia's Spider-Man. You had the Blink and You Miss It, the '90s cartoon Spider-Man. You had the old Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was so funny.
dude, that scene was hilarious.
I got him. No, don't. That shit
It
so
was
funny.
just like the best part, man. That was really cool. And I know he was in the trailer, but seeing obviously like the outlandish stuff, right, which makes it fun, like the Spider Cat. Then you had Spider Rex. You know,
Yeah.
those were really cool to see on screen, even if they were just a flash.
Even the music producer, the soundtrack, Metro Boomin was a Spider Man.
Yeah, he was which one again?
He was the one that pretty much when they all capture Spider Miles in that corner, he's like, "You have nowhere to go," and then he jumps out the window. He's like, "My bad, guys. He did have somewhere to go."
Was he also the DJ Spider Man?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. Metro Boomin was the one. He was the only one hanging upside down when that on that scene.
Yeah.
He wore
No, no,
all
no.
black.
But I thought like because there was like a DJ Spider Man. I didn't know if he was that character that was like this that you know
Oh, I
it
didn't
just
see.
fit along. But you know, again,
Oh, I didn't see
and it
that
was
one.
just like one of those things where you blink and you miss it. You know,
Yeah,
there's just so much going on when they get to the what is it, the Spider Academy or what is it, Spider
the
Society?
spider. There you go. Welcome to Spider. How she said it? Welcome to the Spider Society. What she like? Welcome, like whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, there was just a lot going on, and it's definitely like if you're, it was definitely hard to see and follow, but you know, uh, yeah, dude, there was a lot of faces, a lot of
Yeah,
Spider
that was
Man
a
for
lot. That was
sure.
a lot.
Yeah.
All right, top five, and buddy, I'm gonna let you handle this one and explain what number five is.
Here we go. So, in any good time travel,
Pretty
any
much.
good time travel movie, you got certain events that have to happen in order for stuff in the future, or in our case, the present, to take place. So that is still the case here in the Spider-Man universe, where we had Miguel Ojeda, voiced by Oscar Isaac, also known as Spider-Man 2099, or just Spider-Man. We say Spider-Man 2099 because 2099 is the year that the comic takes place in. But or is it the year or the Earth? I might be getting those mixed up. But anyways, he's just Spider-Man. But he goes on to tell Miles that there are certain events that happen to every single Spider-Man that have to take place in order for them to be Spider-Man. Hence, all the Uncle Ben deaths, or in the MCU, Aunt May's death. So having that been the case, his canon event is the death of his dad. So obviously with the news of hearing that, he was just like, no, I don't think so. I think I'm going to save my dad. And it pissed off Miguel. And he's like, no, you're not. We're going to tell you something. And everyone's like, yo, bro, like, chill. Like, he's not ready. You know, even, and Peter B. Parker was even trying to be like, yo, Miguel, dude, chill out. You're like, he's not ready to hear this yet. And then Miles is like, ready to hear what? Oh, man. And then comes a big reveal, another plot twist for sure. But yeah, so I don't know if that's another spoiler in the row, but I don't want to take up too much time. But, other than the fact that the thing is that he's an anomaly in the fact that he was not supposed to be bitten by a spider at all. The fact that he was an accident.
Oh,
only caused by the Spot trying to do the whole opening up the multiverse, in which then sucked in a spider from Earth 42, hence the number 42 on the spider that bit Miles, which it was supposed to bite somebody else in that universe to become Spider-Man. And because that happened, his Spider-Man in his world died, and now we have Miles taking his place. So the fact that he's like not even supposed to be Spider-Man at all, he's in essence the way Miguel's like, look, bro, you're a fluke. Like you're not supposed to even be here. That was rough.
Yeah, that's very rough. Yeah, I can't explain more to it. It's just like, that's just like, oh boy, like this is rough.
Yeah. So again, these canon events, they're things that have to happen. Obviously, Captain Stacy needs to die. That happens to Peter. Almost every Peter in that room, and so even that, you kind of saw the shift in Gwen. Because like, hey, wait a minute, I don't have a Peter Parker in my world. I'm the Spider-Man or Spider-Woman of my world. So that means my dad's got to die? Like, I don't know if I'm cool with that. Like, you know what I mean? It started to set off a division between the society and, yeah.
Oh, boy. Good stuff there. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
All right. So, number 4. Traversing the multiverse. So pretty much, if you guys watch Into the Spider-Verse, pretty much when Gwen, all the other characters, the gang came over to Earth 1610, they did what they had to do, and they had to get home. They just had to, because it's bad to be in someone else's universe without the technology to pretty much, allow you to be there. And so that's why they had to get home so badly, because of what the possibilities that could happen, the ramifications. And so, of course, at the end, I think it was the end credit scene, if I remember, of Into the Spider-Verse, where you actually see Spider-Man 2099, Miguel's character at the society. It was an end credit scene, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was real quick, but it was more of a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought we saw him.
Yeah. You saw him, but it was like real quick. Yeah, it wasn't. It was at the very end of the credits.
Yeah. So pretty much at the time we didn't know what he was doing, but now when you think about it, he was pretty much making sure that everyone's back in the universe. He was pretty much watching everything, from where he was, and so of course, to get to each universe, to multiverse, you have to have pretty much a watch or some kind of wrist device. But in Miles' case, you get a day badge. You get a day pass. The same shit you get in the fucking workout gym. You get a day pass.
And that's what they called it too. Here's your visitor pass.
You what?
Remember they should say, here's your visitor pass.
Right?
Yeah, that's exactly what they called it.
It was a wristband. They had a wristband like
that 90s slap wristband, bro.
Oh, that was funny. That was funny.
But
with that, they can stay in there until it comes off. All of a sudden, that's when things go real bad, and the glitching and everything involved it just goes haywire real quick.
Yep. And let's not forget the whole reason that we're able to see these other universe really, and I know his character tried to rectify what he did wrong, but we're only in this spot really honestly because of Miguel O'Hara.
Yeah,
he saw a reality in which he pulled a Wanda from Doctor Strange, where he saw his family alive and he died. So he went over there and
took his spot.
Place.
Yeah.
And they ended up dying, and then the family ended up dying. So he was left alone. So it's almost like, the moral of the story is like the universe is going to try to correct itself. And, he was left with like, dude, we can't change nothing. Everything has to happen. It's got to be this way or no way. And, really, if anybody should be mad at anybody, everybody should be mad at that cat, because he's the only reason why any of this is even possible, and I get what he was trying to do and rectify and stop anomalies. But yeah, really the kind of blame falls on him.
Yeah, that's truth.
And I want to know how the hell he became a vampire.
I don't know.
Because that's new to me. I don't ever remember him in the comics being a vampire. But I could be wrong. Like I didn't read.
They may bring it up in the third movie.
Because I didn't read the last Spider-Man 2099 comic book run. They had an alpha, and then there was a 5-issue run, and then an omega at the end. And I didn't read that. I might have to read it, because maybe that tells as to why he's a damn vampire.
I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know. Actually, this is perfect timing as well. Number 3. Oh, you want the floor is yours with this one,
dude. Bro.
The floor is yours.
Who knew that a damn bagel will decide the fate of the universe, bro? It's like Endgame all over again. We're gonna have to. The MVP of the movie is a fucking bagel, and the MVP of Endgame was a damn rat walking across Scott's van. It's like the most obscure and randomness things that just cause stuff, bro. But the fact that across the Spider-Verse, there's the scene where they're leaving Alchemax, their little branch out in the Napa Valley, I guess you could say, or wherever they're at. What is it? Upstate New York. Mm-hmm. And, they're running from all the guards, and Doc Ock is chasing them. And Miles, he's like, I wanted a bagel. And he throws it at some random dude. And you just thought he was a random guy. No, turns out he eventually becomes the Spot, and the whole reason that he is trying to kill or stop or become Spider-Man's nemesis is because he got a bagel thrown at him.
That's just funny as hell. It's like, really? Yeah. A fucking bagel, bro? You pissed because a fucking bagel hit you in the head? Yes! I'm pissed. Like, what?
I lost my job. I damn near died.
Like, look at me. This is my skin now. This is my skin.
I am your nemesis. And it's like, and it's funny because you're like, this cat's just crazy, right? Like, there's no way. Like, what is the connection here? And then when you finally find out, you're like, oh, yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's like, you don't remember where you are? You don't remember any of these? Like, no, bro. Like, I don't, like, what are you talking about? He was like, you don't remember any of this? Like, no.
Dude, yeah, they took a C-list Spider-Man villain that came out in Spectacular Spider-Man, Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, issue 99 and 100. He was a kooky character. I mean, he is a kooky character. Even in the movie, he's like just like really like his powers are cool and super dangerous now, or maybe even super dangerous before. But like just because he was just a banter, and the fact that he was pissed because he got a bagel and lost his job and almost died, and now he's Spots. Like that. But dude, clever, very clever how they utilized him, and the art and how they did that was just even amazing.
Right.
Oh man, I'm interested to know, what was your favorite Spot scene?
My favorite scene with the Spot. Oh my god. The convenience store was cool. The animated convenience store, that portion with the whole ATM. Like I'm not robbing you, man. I'm robbing from the man.
I'm robbing from the bank. I'm sticking it to the man.
That part. I guess him just. I say favorite. I think just the way they utilized them was cool.
Yeah.
They utilized them. They like he even said it. I thought this was a curse. I thought this was a weakness. This is a strength.
Yeah.
Like Astro going into I could go to different worlds now, multiverses. Him just popping into different universes, his hand or leg or whatever conversation. I think that was so clever to do, to take something that we all would think bro, this is a weakness. No, really, it could be his greatest strength. That he could do all this stuff. Oh shit, I didn't think about that. And then he's corrupted himself, and he wants more. Just like any at that point, he's now even a villain. I want more power. I need more. I crave it now. I have to have it. So what's crazy is I don't know if you remember, because like I said, things were happening so fast. But remember when Spot was kind of I don't know if it was Spot or it was, or was it Miles seeing because I guess the future where you see the Spot over New York and you see everyone dead.
Yeah. You
see all the Spider-Man dead. You see everyone dead. It was a black and white picture. It was one of those freeze frames.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. That's creepy to think about. The Spot was able to kill every spot.
There was a little montage where it's a giant hole opens up over New York, right? And it's the black lightning going out. I was like, oh shit, dude, that's kind of creepy, right? Kind of weird to see.
Yeah.
I would definitely say my favorite scene. Obviously, it's just their first encounter, their first battle, but the art and cinematography of the scene where his parents are there at the school and you see them fighting in the background. It's in the trailer, obviously, as well.
Oh, yeah.
But the way it looks on the big screen, I was just holy crap, man, that's
cool.
Just beautiful, beautiful artwork, for sure.
They was going from here to here to there to there to here to here to here, all over their place. That was pretty cool.
Yep. All right, number 2. So we down to the last two.
All right. So Miles has been Spider-Man for a year now. So there's more to that. So I think what it means is more he's now, besides Into the Spider-Verse, he was still new to being Spider-Man. But now he's pretty much in not just that universe, but also in the world of the PlayStation 5, the game, and also too, as well as more confident. He's more experienced now. He has a new suit. He now has the thing on the side.
It looks like you're bleeding from the armpits.
Yes.
Dude, that running joke throughout the whole movie was funny.
He's more experienced. He learned some new tricks, some new tech tricks that he could do with his powers, and to absorb, kind of like what Black Panther does. He's able to absorb energy.
Yeah, the vibranium, yeah, it
Yes.
absorbs the energy, and he's able to shoot it or transfer it back out. But yeah, he's trying to do that too with his little zapping powers. But yeah, but no, but yeah, it's a year later. He's obviously more experienced. But what's a surprise to me was the fact that he has a relationship with uh, his dad as a police
Oh yeah.
officer. There's a scene where they're talking after the spot,
Yeah.
disappears.
That was funny. Like,
Yeah.
because he would talk normal, then he'll talk like this, and then, oh yeah, yes. How about you give your son some space? You need to give him some space. No, he's like, what? Like, what do you mean? Yes, let him grow. Like, let him grow.
Yeah.
No,
So it's almost
no.
like his dad has turned a leaf on Spider-Man. Because even he
Yeah.
didn't like Peter Parker. The original Spider-Man. Like he was like, he's a menace, and not a menace, but like, hey, he's doing our job, and we're supposed to be doing that, and blah blah blah. Blah. So that was a very interesting tidbit to see with him being, this is what's happened in a year.
Yeah. And one of the funniest part of the conversation was first rule: you always catch the bad guy. I always catch the bad guy. Usually.
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 Yeah, and it makes you wonder, like, when did he not catch the bad guy in this whole year? You know what I mean? Like, who else has he gone up against? Now that Kingpin's gone, maybe not gone. I think the Kingpin got arrested, right?
I'm trying to remember. I think so. Yeah.
I don't think he died. So, Kingpin's behind bars. Who else? I'm interested to see what other characters are going to be in these movies outside of Spider-Man. Are we going to see any of the other Marvel characters? Well, that's neither here nor there. But
so here's a big question that I don't think that I saw, but it should have more attraction than what it should. This question.
Mm-hmm.
So in the first movie, we all know Chris Pine was Spider-Man, and he died. I wonder if Chris Pine character, that Peter Parker is in the other in Earth 42.
42?
Yeah, but he's not Spider-Man yet.
Yeah.
I wonder
he's just Peter Parker.
He's just Peter Parker, yes. And I wonder if at some point, I know he died, but being this multiverse now, I know there's has to be another Chris Pine, Peter Parker somewhere out there. He actually comes back and maybe saves them, or he ends up being a cameo or whatever kind of deal.
Yeah.
So, like,
man.
I'm interested on that, like to see if Chris Pine even comes back as that character in some kind of way, in some form of Peter Parker, or like I said, I really hope that Peter Parker is in Earth 42. I really hope that version's there.
Yeah.
Or
definitely.
If not that Peter Parker, maybe I don't know about Tom Holland could voice it, or somebody else could voice it, maybe who knows, kind of deal. So, or maybe one of the voice actors from the Spider-Man cartoon kind of deal.
Yeah. It could be the '90s one. I wouldn't be sad about
the new Spider-Man cartoon. I mean, the new one. Well, not the new one. The one with the where it's him and oh my god, what's homeboy with the was it Spider-Man, Iron Fist?
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That version. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's being trained by Shield.
I didn't see that. Was that version in the movie?
No, I didn't see that version.
I didn't see that version in the movie.
I saw the Spectacular Spider-Man. Like he has that one talking scene too.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now we're at the number one, baby.
So I'll let you handle that, baby, because it was pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, it was really awesome to see. It's definitely one of the things that me and my wife were talking about after the movie was the fact that there's a lot of live action cameos in this movie.
Yeah.
we talked about the Spider-Verse, or excuse me, the Venom-verse, with the Spot showing up. It's like, you seen anything odd lately? And the and the Asian store clerk, she's like,
he was like,
no.
you seem really calm in this kind of situation right now. He literally did this too. You seem really calm. She's like,
yeah, I handle a space alien connected to a guy that likes to eat chocolate. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, this isn't new. We got to see the Tobey Maguire live action scene. We got to see
Andrew
Garfield's live action scene. And the big one is, I'm like, okay, when does that take place? Is
Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover. Sorry, I was gonna say I was gonna go with his hip hop name for a second. Yeah, but we got Donald Glover
as
the Prowler. Yeah. So and in Homecoming, he does say he has a little nephew. So I know we have Sony pretty much all but confirming that we're going to get Miles Morales live action. Is that going to be in the MCU? Dude, I would. Yes, it needs to be in the MCU. It cannot be in the Venomverse. It just, to me, it just will not work.
I would not be surprised in the third movie there's a Tom Holland cameo.
Oh, for sure. For sure. It's got to be.
That will make people go crazy.
Yeah. It's got to be because, well, yes and no, but you'd be like, how did he get there, and why would he be? Well, I mean, it could set up we're in the multiverse right now with MCU, so it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, and he's not even, and it just had to be a cameo of him just showing up at the end at the spot in the society. He just shows up, or maybe, or it could be where once everything's done resolved, Miguel could tell Miles, hey, thank you for everything, blah 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 blah, and maybe he asked him a question. He said, yeah, we have a new recruit. The new recruit is Tom Holland.
or it could be he shows up to take Donald Glover to put him in jail in his universe.
Oh, he comes back into. Oh yeah,
he comes back to the Spider Society to pick him up.
That is true. That'll be an awesome way.
Yeah, so I would be totally down for that. But I think the biggest thing, because I know we're talking about live action cameos, but the biggest takeaway is we've been lied to, people, and this movie confirms it. The MCU is not Earth 616.
Oh,
it is Earth
1999.
Earth 1999, which makes sense because that's when they announced the Iron Man movie. So, yeah, I mean, holy crap.
Yeah.
So the fact that we are not 616, which makes sense because the Marvel comic books, that universe is 616, that we're a completely different universe as what we were told to in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, so that's awesome. So now we can confirm that we're Earth 1999. So it's time to party like it's 1999.
Right. Oh,
but man, yeah. So what do you think, man? I mean, obviously, we talked a little bit about the live action cameos. I mean, what were obviously for me, the Donald Glover was a big surprise. I was not expecting that. Was there anything else that you were not expecting?
I was not expecting any of the live action stuff. Yeah. I thought it would be strictly animated, the entire movie. I was not expecting live action anything. That right there alone was like just especially when they took the canon event scene where you see all the spider. It showed every spider person at a death scene with their either Uncle Ben, whoever. Mm-hmm. So they show Tobey Maguire. They show
Andrew Garfield.
All actually showed them like that was pretty cool to see. Like I literally thought the entire movie was gonna be animated. I wasn't expecting the Lego scene. Was not expecting anything
Oh, dude,
live
the Lego
action.
world was funny as hell.
Oh, that shit was funny. He's like beep beep beep. Yes. Beep, 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 beep. And kind of deal. And hell, even Jojo Jameson. I guess that was J.K. Rowling's back there talking in the Lego world kind of deal. So
J.K. Simmons.
J.K. Simmons, excuse me.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And side note, just what I thought as well was awesome. It's the soundtrack. I've been banging the soundtrack since Thursday.
Yeah,
soundtrack is really good. Like soundtrack is amazing. The two best songs on there is the ending credit song, "Am I Dreaming?" and "Hummingbird." Hummingbird is a gorgeous song. Like if you listen to it, listen to the words, it's a very beautiful song. Hell, the song they play on the rooftop called "Silk and Cologne." That's the song that when he said, "Yo, DJ, give me a beat," whatever.
Yeah.
The song play was called Silk and Cologne. That song, bruh, I turn that bitch up in my car loud. That song jams. That's my shit right there, bro. That kind of deal. And just, the soundtrack is just so good. Like, this movie, I know you don't think it will. I honestly believe it will be nominated for a Academy Award. It's going to win animated. I'm not worried about that. That's on lock. That's a lock. But for the big awards, it's going to win for. No, it's not going to win. I'm sorry. It's going to be nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if they nominate Lord and Miller for best directors. That would not surprise me at all either.
Yeah, no, I could understand.
And special effects, stuff like that.
I don't think. But what special effects? It's animated, so.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I guess it's the way it's done with the CGI.
I would say for sure, like the three categories it's going to be in is. Even though I don't agree with it, and that's just my personal opinion, but it being nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Animated Film. I think those are going to be the only three categories it ends because it can't do costume. It can't do maybe cinematography, but even...
Hey, there was at least 3 minutes, I'll say about 3 scenes that was like, bro, this shit looks amazing. Like the scene where you see it's toward the end of the movie. You see Miguel on the rooftop looking over with like the big red lights behind him, and you see Spider-Man on the rooftop. He's looking down, and they do a wide scope of it. That scene was like that scene's gorgeous. Like
and then the scene
of that scene right there,
and the scene of the new Spider Team with Gwen jumping off the building was gorgeous as well too.
Oh yeah.
So no. And maybe cinematography. Maybe it gets 4. I don't know. I gave it a
nominated. Is awesome.
That's just me because I'm harsh on the movie, and it's really hard not. It's honestly I'm really being hard on it on certain things that I probably shouldn't even be hard on it on, and really just be a 10 out of 10. But it's an amazing movie. It's definitely in my top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
So damn, it may be tied with Spider-Man 2. It may be tied.
So we'll match this question. So far, we're in June. So far, we're 6 months into the year. Best movie of the year so far?
Damn, that's a good question. Yeah, I would say so. Best movie of the year so far, for sure.
Yeah,
I really don't. And nothing really else stands out to me that would. I mean, other John Wick, but John Wick is John Wick. It's not Best Picture. Not that it doesn't just to deserve the credit where credit's due. It's a fantastic movie. The best one, the second best one. I still think the first one's the best, but the second best out of the four movies by far. And a great movie, a great send off to the character if they continue it, if they don't continue it. Those are really the only two movies I can really say that are very memorable so far this year. And I think I'm going to be pondering on Spider-Man for the next maybe month and a half. I mean, because where do they go? I mean, it's not where do they go next. We know where they're going next, but how is it going to play out? Like I said, dude, like it's going to be nonstop, one thing after another.
Buckle your seatbelts.
Pretty much. If anything, I think there's maybe going to and then maybe this, like I said, I'm just making this prediction. If anything, I think there's going to be two scenes where you're maybe going to have more than 5 minutes of dialogue. Everything else is just going to be, just go. And of course, you're going to have dialogue in between, like with the fighting, because that's what they do in these movies. But but actual, like, I would say probably those two scenes are somewhere in the middle and at the end.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. I think next summer.
We'll see. Yeah. Summer. I mean, what would you think? I mean, do you have any other ideas for that you would categorize in the best picture so far this year?
No, I think just those ones I mentioned. I think that's it I could think of right now. So
what else has come out this year?
Well, yeah,
that's memorable. I mean, we had Guardians. We had Ant-Man and the Wasp. We had.
Well, I'm talking about best. Well, also too. A lot of like the nominated best pictures normally happen in the fall because it gets ready for award season. Yes, but so as of right now, this is probably the best movie of the year so far.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah, who knows? Once Oppenheimer comes out, we'll see. Oppenheimer.
I'm gonna pass on that and watch it. I don't think I'm gonna watch that in the theaters. I'm gonna wait for that to come out on digital.
Yeah, we'll see with that. Like, I ain't gonna watch it, but who knows? Depending once it's reviewed and people say how good it is, how good or whatever. But like, I don't know. As of right now, because it's been technically all action movies. Yeah. There's been a lot of surprise movies that's been really good. So, like Renfield was really surprising how good it was, like that. But like best movie so far. As of right now, that's probably the only ones will be nominated as of right now until these. As I say, because technically, you remember, Best Picture is 10 up to 10 films nominated.
Yeah.
So far, 6 months a year, huh?
5. It needs to go back down to 5.
Yeah. 10 is
too much. It's too much.
But as of right now, too many
participation awards. If you ask my opinion,
I can't think of any other movie that so far has come out this year that's like this movie's better than Spider-Man Across Spider-Verse. I can't think of one yet. I've been to movies almost every weekend.
I would say the closest is probably Guardians, but it's not close by much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like here's Spider-Man, and Guardians is like
way back there.
There you see my thumb? That's Guardians. Like it's yeah. Guardians. I mean, don't get me wrong. We talked about Guardians. Guardians was great. I really like Guardians. That a lot. But yeah, man, Spider-Man was so good, dude. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a tough rest of the year because I'm really going to probably compare everything to that movie for sure.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Ooh, all right. Well, that brings this show to a close.
Yes,
we hope you enjoyed what you were listening to, what you're watching. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to throw those into the comment section. That's what they're for. Please be nice. Obviously, if you think we suck, keep that to yourself. We don't want it. we don't need to see or hear that. But we appreciate everybody for dropping by, listening to the show, watching the show, and as always, be kind to yourself and others, and have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching. I'm Jay Rue, the Comic Guru.
Kung Fu.
That's right. And we out, baby.
Mine.
Peace.